This is Lee with 82 Game and 12 here on Sons of Liberty 75. We're right back into the La Bataille de Espino Talavera. And it's still the 11 o'clock hour. And we're picking up where the last video left off. So this is video 47. And the result we have here is this cavalry charge, and I ran out of these other markers for numbers, and so I had to go get pull out these. So both of these are going to take a loss, as they both have to then basically retreat a third of their movement and then roll to see how they react. We had a blank result. So basically we have a bounce. So we're going to bounce both of these a third. For these guys, a third, let's see, I think they're 13, okay. So that's going to be, roughly 4. Movement. So it costs 2 to cross the stream, so that's 2. Well, they can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to go right there. And then we'll go ahead and roll for the Spanish. Okay, I rolled a 53. So they pass. So they're going to have tired markers. And the rules, due to the weather being extremely so hot, that instead of placing just one marker, you place 2. So they basically get 2 tired markers that have to be removed, or affects their combat and movement anyways. So it's going to take time for them to recover. Okay, so with Milhad here, he has a 6 for his morale, which is going to boost their morale. So let's see, I think they're an 11, so they're going to retreat basically 3. So 1, 2, 3, and so then we roll for them. Let's get rid of that. And their morale is 31, but they get the +6 for morale. Rolled a 64, so they passed. So they charged and meleeed, so they are going to be exhausted. Let's see if I got, there's one. Okay, so that completes Milhad's MU, and let's pull back, take a look here. So if you look in the cup, it's empty. So we're now finished with all of the MUs. So next, there we go. What's going on here with my, there we go. Now we have to do the rest of the turn. So now we do defensive fire, then we do offensive fire, and then we do assault phase. So, and we'll just go across the battlefield. Anyone that is in an assault will do their defensive fire separate. So we've got so if we look over here, we've got this artillery unit here, but they can't fire through these olive groves. And of course, they can't fire through their own troops to hit these units here. So they don't have a target. And so actually, I have this artillery here, but they're not going to be able to fire either. All right. So let's look here. Now, one thing I didn't do, and I should have done, is on this retreat here, as this, they were retreating this cavalry. They actually, would have left this unit's, one of its front hexes to move to here, which would have brought opportunity fire. So let's take a look at that. So so a third of the guns, and let's see what this, that would only be, this unit would only be 7, third would be 2. So a total, but I think I have to fire them separately. Well, yeah, I think, well, no, I guess I can combine. So that would be, like I said, 2 and 3 is 5. The cavalry has a, due to being in column, the defense would be a 6. So it'd be, it's gonna be 1 to 1.5, but due to the fact that they're adjacent, that now increases it to 1.5 to 1. So 34 is not enough. So So that was no nothing. And then when he moved from thicker counters, he moved to here. This unit got to fire also. So again, that would be 5, but then you get to add this unit also, because we're leaving this hex to go to here. So that would be a third here. So we're looking at, it'd be 7 to 6. That's 1 to 1, which then becomes, due to the artillery, 2 to 1. 12 is no effect. Okay. All right, so that's all of that. But now, both of these get to fire on that cavalry as defensive fire. So, again, they can only use a third. So that's going to be 3. And over here, they use a third of theirs, which is going to be 2, so 5. So we're at 1 to 1.5, which, because he's, let's see, well, it's not going to be, he's not adjacent. So it's just going to be 1 to 1.5. 46. Is that enough? Yes. So they got a hit. So now they're at 4. Okay, so they've got a 31. And Mahada adds 6. They got a 56. So they're going to pass. So they won't rout from the fire. But wait a minute. They've lost 60 or 50% of their strength. So let's see, that's going to cause a subtraction, but I think it's not going to be that big of a deal because, let's see here. Yeah, it'd be -6, but he has a +6. So they pass. They rolled a 56 anyways. All right. Remove. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've got more charges here. Wow. Forgot these other charges. Okay. I gotta finish the charges over here. I've got 2 more charges. Like, well, where did this one go? Guess I can remove this one. Okay. Wow, can't believe I skipped out on these charges here. Okay, so let's go with this one here against this unit. This is artillery. So let's flip this one over. Okay, he started out with 9, so now he's down to 6. This is his strength. Okay. All right, so that artillery gets defensive fire. So that's 15 to 6. That's 2, 15, 6 is 12. So yeah, that's actually going to be 2.5. Let's see, 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 to 1. And because he's adjacent, it moves 2. So 4 to 1 is the, and he got a 62, which is going to be 2 hits. Okay, so this unit here has taken 2 more hits. It's like, well, where are all my markers? Okay. So now his strength is only a 4. And then we got to roll. We got to roll to see if he routes in the fire. No, I rolled a 21, so no, he doesn't. Even with the -6. Well, yeah, wait a minute. I rolled a 21, and his morale is 25, so yes, he does route. So he's not going to charge. That was enough to send him packing, and he's going to take another loss. So, okay, his movement. So 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You didn't see where he went, did you? He went way back here. And he didn't melee, so he's, well, since he routed, he's got to be exhausted. So, all right. Okay, so let's pull back in here to the other charge we have. All right. Okay, and that's going to be right here. And he's got a strength of 9. Okay. And okay. So that unit is going to have to roll to determine whether or not they stand in the face of this cavalry charge. So, I guess I've got to go over here. Roll to stand. Okay. Okay, they're charged by heavy cavalry. That's going to be -9. And then there's a -12. Well, there's a -12 if the target has an assault marker. Oh, if the target is also the target of an assault marker, so that's a -3 plus, with the -9 is a -12. And if they hold their fire, there's a +3. If the charged unit holds their fire, which they haven't fired yet. So, let's see if there's anything else we're going to have. Okay, so we're going to have a -12. Let's see what they do. I rolled a 55, so they're going to stand in the face of this. So they're in line. Let's move that over there. And they've got a strength of, oh, he's just gone. That's just a skirmisher. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, so that they can continue to keep moving here. 24. Let's see, where does this one go? Right here. Okay, so that was just a skirmisher. So let's move this up. We don't have to mess with that. Okay. So they had moved 5. Okay. And so they can go 6. Seven. 7. This is his strength. This is his movement. 7. Oh. 8, 9, 10. So 10. All right, so what we have here, I won't need to worry about this. Yeah, I won't have to worry about that or that. Okay, so that artillery ends up having to fire or defend itself again. So we're looking at 15 to 6. 15 to 6. So that's 2.5 to 1. And since it's the cavalry's adjacent, 4 to 1. Rolled a 21. It's just one hit. So this will be their first hit. And they have a 24 morale. Rolled a 62, so they're not gonna rout. So they just overwhelmed this artillery here. And whose artillery is this? Right there. The British. Okay, and since they didn't, that's not really a melee. They're just going to be tired. All right, so that takes care of that. All right. So we'll go back to defensive firing. And we have this unit can fire here or there. Okay, that's 9. That's 9 to 6. 42. So, okay, that's 1.5 to 1. 42 is a hit. So they take another hit. And they have to roll morale again. And they had a 24. Oh, they rolled a 13, so they're going to rout. Okay. Get rid of these. So 11. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There. All right. now we, okay, now we're here. We've got this artillery unit, okay, firing at this British cavalry. Right here. So that's 18, and they're in line. So that's 9. I believe that's 9. Let's see. Cavalry in line is 8. Okay. So that's 2.5. I mean 2 to 1. But then it's going to be shifted. No, it won't be shifted. It's just going to be 2 to 1. 2 to 1. 33 is not. Oh, it is barely. So the other thing is we've got the ricochet, and let's see. I didn't do the ricochet over here for this one. This one here should have had a ricochet. I guess we'll come back to it. So the ricochet is going to go right through all the way over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right there. And it's going to just keep going. 10, 11. And just be stopped right there. So all of those are going to be right there going across. There's going to be in line of fire. Okay, but first this one takes a hit. So we're looking at 4 now. So they've got 7 left, but they've got to roll for more morale for taking a hit. 33. I got a 25, so they're okay. Okay, so the next one here in line, which is the same cavalry, takes a hit, possibly, with the ricochet. And that's still with a strength of 18, so that's 2 to 1. 32 is not enough. Okay, so, well, actually, that should have been at the strength of 12. So, okay, this one here is at the strength of 12. And, oh, this is, yeah, okay, right here. They're in column. So, I mean in squares, so that's a 6. That's 2 to 1. 23 is not enough. Okay. Okay. We go up here to this one, which is in column. And that one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, is going to be, okay, strength of 9. So, if we look here, this artillery has, at long range, 9. So, that target, that's 9. That's going to be 1.5 to 1. 34 is not enough. Really had an opportunity to really do a lot of damage here, but they didn't. Okay, and then here, these guys are in column. These guys here. So that's going to be the same thing. Okay, 53. That's going to be a hit. Okay. Okay, so not quite half, almost half. And then the last one is that skirmisher right here, who is going to be at a 14. Well, that's a British light company, so 16. So 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be 11. So the knot is 4.5. So yeah, it's beyond. It's well below the one. What, a third? So that wouldn't have any effect. Okay. All right. Did a little bit of damage there. Not a whole lot, but we did a little bit. Let's see here. All right. If we look, get this straight. Okay. So right here we've got some artillery, and their target is going to be this other artillery right here where Villette's at, plus this infantry unit that's with him. So, and he's firing at the infantry unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, range of 6. So that's going to be a medium range. So he'll have a strength of 10, and he's in line. So that's nice. So it's 1 to 1. 64. That's a hit. Almost a leader casualty too. So all right, so that's okay. So I think they have to check every, let's see, every odd hit, I think. Yeah, odd. So he's got to check. So he's got a 31, but he's also has lost half of his total strength. So that's -6. And Villiers is going to give a 2. Can't really see that, can you? Well, come on. Come, we're out of focus here. It's a 2. There you go. So Oh, I rolled a 14. So, disorganized. Thing is, these guys could have fired on him too. Not now. You can only be fired on once. Let's see here. Oops. Okay. So we've got this artillery unit here. This guy doesn't add anything. And our target is this square here. So, they may not even be able to be in square. Let's see. No? Okay. So they've got another unit with them. So we got a total strength of 6 there. Okay. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Range of 5, so it's going to be 8 to 6. It's only 1 to 1. 12. No effect. Okay, so now we can go right into the melees, the assaults. All right. So, they're in square. Okay, it's part of the guards. They've taken 1 loss, so they're at 7 strength. Sherbrooke's with them. So, let me turn him around. He gives, defensively, he gets a 2 modifier to the die. So, okay. And so we've got, we've taken 1 loss. Their strength is 5. So they've got a 4. Okay. They're checking to roll to stand here. All right. So they're facing a strength of 10. Turn these guys over. So strength of 4. Against a strength of 10. All right, so they've got a roll to stand. Okay. Okay, the odds of solving the target hex is 2 to 1. So that's a -3. And I don't think there's going to be any other modifier. Yeah. Okay. So their morale is 14, which I believe with a 14 morale, they don't adjust their, they don't have to adjust their morale by anything. So it's just going to be a straight up 14 or more. 25, so they pass. So they're going to stand. Okay. And so now we have to roll to see the roll to close. And they have a 31. So 46. Okay, so we're going to have an assault. All right, so now we have the defensive fire, which they're guards. Okay. And there's strength of 4. They're in line. So they're going to have a firepower of 20 against column, which is 6. So that's going to be 3 to 1. 3 to 1. 41 is going to be 1 hit. So they take a hit. And of course, they have to pass the morale again. And they did. They rolled a 64. All right, so now we have the melee. And what we have is they've taken a loss. So now they're at 9 instead of 10. So they're roughly about 17, 16.5. And the defender, 14. But they've taken 1 loss. So that's about 3. So 11 to 17. 6. So 1.5 to 1. Well, it might just be 1 to 1 on the melee. No, it's not. Okay, so we got a 54. Okay, we come down here, 54. So we've got a disorder. So they disorder 54. So they're going to disorder and go back 2 hexes. Plus they lose another Well, he could adjust it too. Does that change anything? So 52. Yeah, he just moves back 1 hex, but they're disordered. So, and they've got to, oh, wait a minute. I forgot, they're in the square. So hold on. Because the defender's in a square, let's see here. Where is it at? That's cavalry. We don't want the cavalry one. Three seconds. So 17. That would be 51. So about 25. It would be 25 to 11. So that would be 2, almost 3 to 1, but 2 to 1. So 52, 2 to 1. Yeah, they're gonna be forced back 2 hexes. Okay. And so they're out of the square. That's another thing. They're no longer in a square. And they've got to go back 2 hexes. So 1, 2, back to here. They lose a step because they were forced back in the zone of influence. Okay. And this unit can advance forward. And these guys here are exhausted, so they can't react. Excuse me. All right, so that takes care of that one. Let's move on to the next one here. We got quite a few of these to do. So, okay. All right, so here and here. Okay. All right, so here, he's 5. He's got a strength of 5 now. Okay. And the French unit has a strength of 10. So to roll the stand, let's see here. All right, roll the stand. So it's 10 to 5, that's 2 to 1. So that's -3. Okay. 45, they passed. Okay, so now we have to roll to close. 24. Oh, it's 16. So he doesn't. So we're not going to have the assault. We're just going to have a fire exchange between the two. Okay, so we'll go defender first. They're in line, and there's 5, and he's just a foot. So okay, that'd be 4. That's 20. He's in column, so that's 3 to 1. 31 is a hit. Okay. All right, so he's got to pass his morale first. 25, he passed barely. Okay. So his fire strength is a 9 because he's in column. The target is in line, so it's going to be 1 to 1. 36 is, I don't think, is enough. No. Okay, so we just stop right there. Now we go to the next one over. All right, so right here we've got light company, and he's taken 2 losses, so he's at a 4. Strength of 4. Okay. The attacker is Leval, and that unit has 8. So roll to stand. 2 to 1, that's -3. 61, they're going to pass. And then to roll to close, 42. Leval has a morale booster of 3. 65, so they passed. Okay, so now we go into the defensive fire. KGL in line times 4, so that's 16. They're in column, so that's 6. It's 2.5 to 1. 22 is not enough. Okay. And so now the French melee. So we've got 14. Okay. The King's German Legion, they were at 6. So they're going to have a melee strength of 8. So 14 to 8 is 1.5 to 1. And then Leval gets to add 2 to the die. So 42 becomes 44, and we have a blank result. So we're going to have a firefight. So we just roll the dice again and look at the firefight result. And that's a 63, and that's a defender, the disorders, 2 X's. Plus they have to take a loss. So these guys are going to take a loss down to 3. And they've got to move back 2 hexes, 1, 2, back to here. And these guys actually get to move in. Okay. All right, so that takes care of the assaults there. Now we got first one. This unit here. I understand why they're in line, but he's actually, oh, he's in that orchard. So he's in general order. So his facing is all around. And he has a strength of 7. So let's mark that. Okay, so strength of 7. Okay. The French unit has a strength of 7. So let's turn him over. Okay. All right, so roll to stand. He might, I think if they're in general order, they automatically stand. So, doesn't have to roll there. So we have to roll to close. So, yeah, 34 is what we have to get. Or higher. 62. All right, so we had a roll to stand. Roll to close, I mean. So now we go to the defensive fire. Okay. And so, general order, he's going to be printed. So he's going to have a fire strength of 4 against column. So that's going to be 1.5 to 1. 45, not enough. Okay, so now we have our melee. Okay. Salt. Okay, so we're going to have 14 to 8. That's going to be 1.5 to 1. 1.5 to 1, 35. It's going to end up blank, which becomes a firefight. 17, the attacker has to disorder and go back 2 hexes, and they take a loss. That was unexpected. Okay, now we move to the next one. And so he's in the line, but he's getting attacked in the flank. So he doesn't have any fire. Okay. His strength is 6. Six to 7. Okay, so he's got a roll to stand. Okay, so that's a -6 for being attacked in the flank. Okay, and the odds are pretty much even. 51. Okay, he's got a 42, and I said a -6? Yeah. -6. What I rolled, 51? 6 becomes a 41. So he did not pass. So he becomes disordered. Okay. And now we go to the melee. So that's going to be 17. To 7. 2. Be 2 to 1, but he's disordered. So he's going to have a half strength. So he's going to be at a 4. That's going to be 4 to 1. 25, 4 to 1. So what I rolled? Yeah, 25, 4 to 1. Defender disorders, so he routes 2. So he's going to take a loss and flee. So he goes 1, see, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And he can advance, which he does. Okay, well, there's the next one. Right here. This guy's got a strength of 7. Okay. All right, let's see. Roll to stand. 46. It's even. So it just needs a 46. Oh no, he rolled a 12. So he disorders and gets assaulted. Then not going to have defensive fire. So his strength is 7, melee strength is half, so it's a 4 against 16. So that's 4 to 1 again. Ooh, a 12 is not too good for. So we got a blank result. So we're going to have a firefight. And a 13 is an attacker. Has to disorder and goes back 2. Horrible dice rolling there. So they take a loss and become disordered and go back 2. 1, 2. So go back to here. Now this unit is still disordered. All right, and then we're going to have to move. Now we're moving over here to this group. All right, so we've actually got 2 that are attacking this unit here that's in square, so he's going to automatically stand. He's in square. Okay. So we're going to have a total of 14. All right, let's see. This guy is 7-4. So yeah, he's going to be able to fire with each of those, but only at 1/3 of his strength. So let's see, he is firing, let's see, Spanish, square times 1. So 7, that's 2. 2, so basically 1 to 3 at each one of them. Okay, so we'll go with this one here first. Ooh, got a 56. Let's see, 56. No, he has to have a 65 or higher. 16, so no. All right, so now we go to the, well, I guess I have to roll to close for both of those guys. Okay, so we're this guy first. See if he rolls to close. 25, so no, he doesn't. The other one, 61, so he does. So this guy here does not roll to close. All right. So it's going to be 16. That guy's in square. So the attacker is going to be 3 seconds. 30 seconds, I guess. 33 seconds. So 16 times 3 be 48. Divided by 2 is 24. So 24 to 7. 3 to 1. $22. Oh, it ends up being a firefight. 14. Okay, so the attacker takes loss, becomes disordered, and retreats 2. So goes back to there. All right. Now we go with this one against this one. This one's still in a square. All right, now this one here is in, well, I guess they're both. Let's see. No, yeah, they're both in general order. So they just will automatically defend. So they get their defensive fire, which is 4. He's in general order now. That's 12 in olive groves. So that's 1 to 3. 65 or 66? 64, not enough. Okay. So we've got 15 against 9. That's going to be, yeah, 1.5. 1.5 to 1.5 to 1.5 to 1. 36. That's going to be a firefight. 64. That's going to be a defender disorders and back 2, plus they have to take a loss. So they take a loss, disordered, and they go back 2, put them back to there. And then this guy can advance. Oops. Okay, now we go there and here. They're both in general order. Okay, so they're going to stand. I guess I still have to roll for his advance. And he didn't. So we just have fire back and forth. So the defender will fire. Got to have a 65 or higher. Nope. And then we have 7 It's not, let's see, 7 to 12. It's 5. Basically 2 to 1. 1 to 2. 1 to 2, roll a 61. So, that's 61 is not enough. Wow. Okay, so no effect there. They just stay as they are. That ends the melee phase, and then what we go to is the phase where, if I pull back here, okay, I've got all of these disorganized and routed units and cavalry that I have to adjust their tiredness. All of that will be done off camera, but I'm just telling you that that has to be done before the turn is over. And then we would actually move to the 11-20 turn, which is going to bring back balance. Which is the 2nd Division of 4th Corps. And I'm not, and just to think about victory possibilities and so forth, I think probably would have been better overall for the French would be not to have Sebastiani's 4th Corps down here around Talavera, but should have pressed hard maybe here in the center to divide the two armies. And force them both to withdraw or be annihilated. And didn't do that. So that's what we have. Things are looking kind of rough for Wellesley and Cuesta. I don't know that. Of course, I don't think the Spanish are going to be able to hold Talavera, which is going to open up the path to Oporto, which is marked by this blue disc over here. So, and the British are pretty thin. They've taken, they really gave Victor a licking. They kicked his teeth in. But now you have Leval showed up with his 3rd Division. And things don't look so good for the British. I think they're going to be able to take advantage of the British pushing across the Portina stream there. Maybe they should have stayed in their defensive position. But they advanced forward, and now I believe Leval is going to be able to get in here behind them and cut them off. And about the only thing that could save them is this cavalry sitting up here. But it's not going to be able to do much in this rough terrain here. And I don't think the map really does the medallion and the Cascade Hall justice. Now, in the dealing with the movement, you know, cavalry, of course, has a difficult time going through orchards, olive groves, down a slope. Up a slope's only 3, but down a slope is +5. And so they'd have some difficulty maneuvering over there and all of that. But the British have taken too many losses overall that they really only have like 2 divisions of strength. That's it. Infantry-wise. You know, if we were to take a gander over here at all of this over here, okay. Now, at the bottom chart, organizational chart there, order of battle chart, okay. This one here is the British, okay. Now, all of the gray units there that are turned over, those units are out of the battle. They've been taking enough losses to be removed. And so when you're looking at that, you can see that they've taken too many losses. You're looking at probably about half of their infantry strength has been removed from the map. And if we were to compare that with what's above, okay, those counters that are still on the organizational map that are on the front side with the colors, those units are on the board just in a different status. So it could be that the whole regiment's on the board instead of being split up into the battalions. And the losses are the ones that are turned over to the white side. And so you can see where Victor's corps, okay, over here to the left, okay, like here, here, and here, okay. The first 2 divisions have taken pretty big hits, okay. The 3rd division has not, but the first 2 have. But the other corps hasn't taken any. All of their units are at full strength pretty much. A couple of them have taken losses. And it's only 11 o'clock. So, you know, the British, they can't reorganize any of these units. They can't bring any more units onto the map. So they're going to have to, I think they're going to have to leave the field. Cuesta might be able to hold off using Talavera, but, he's more than likely going to have to retreat across the old Roman bridge. Okay, if we swing back over here, okay. That or he's just going to have to move out this direction, He doesn't have the manpower to be able to hold off Sebastiani. And he doesn't want to get caught out in the open because Latour has still got, some full-strength cavalry units. So I think Zayas over here is going to just get annihilated. So even though at some point this looked like might be a British victory, I think it's going to turn into a British rout, just due to the fact that the infantry discrepancy in numbers. The French did take some losses, but they've got the Fourth Corps basically as reinforcements, and Wellesley doesn't have that. And I think in the historical battle, Victor, of course, wasted his corps in the way that he attacked piecemeal. And he didn't really try to exploit the flank, the British left flank around the Bataille. Cavalry really wasn't used to effect, and so and the Spanish really wasn't pressed around Talavera, where more than likely they would have probably easily scattered had Sebastiani unleashed at least one division down around Talavera. And Victor really should have concentrated on trying to outflank Wellesley instead of advancing across the Portina in that little ravine. See, there's a ravine between these two that the French troops had to march down into this little ravine, cross this little stream, okay? And the difficulty about the stream was the banks, okay, which is not really illustrated to effect here. And then they had to march up this hill, okay, into withering fire. You're talking about the British line, okay, too deep, pouring a hailstorm of musket balls into these French columns, where if you missed the guy that was in the front, you got a pretty good chance of hitting one of the guys behind, because they're stacked so many in a row. So, the French really lost an opportunity. And it all came down to not working together, but wanting individual glory between Victor and Joseph. And then they even lied to Napoleon about, the success of the battle. They weren't successful. And they wanted to try to claim that they had defeated the British. So this one here, like the Napoleonic battle series from the Gamers and MMP, I'm going to call it. I could continue, but there's not really any way for the British to be able to hold the position without being just surrounded and overwhelmed. Sure, they've got some cavalry units, but that could be, beneficial. The British heavy cavalry over here really hadn't done much, but you're not going to really get that much out of the Spanish cavalry. They're not going to be able to react because their morale is so low. So, and if you look back here, there's no reinforcements. And here, we had some units that got annihilated in here. And all this is, he can decide to just overwhelm what's left of these units here, and then turn his attention over here to Campbell. Campbell was able to withstand the cavalry charges because they went to square, but now they're vulnerable, especially if they can bring some artillery in here and start blasting. We've got the artillery piece there. This cavalry regiment here is getting ready to have to withdraw. These guys here are disordered. Okay. You've got this unit here, but it's going to fix and get overwhelmed there. And so, all I see is they're going to have to pull back. There's too many gaps, and they don't have anybody to fill them. All those units back there are disordered. So this is going to be a French victory because they're going to hold the field and force the British and the Spanish to withdraw. So I don't have to look at the casualties and all of that. We can easily come over here and look at the butcher's bill.